Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 3 of Carers Week with the Charity for Civil Servants. I hope that you're enjoying the week so far, that any activities or events that you've been able to be involved in you find helpful or beneficial to you as carers, or even just in informing you about what other carers might be dealing with. I'm thrilled this morning to welcome Carlos from the Civil Service Carers Network. This is a short session, but Carlos is going to be really packing in some information about the value that the Carers Network can bring to you. Just before we start on that, I want to just do a couple of little housekeeping things for you. Although it's a short session, Carlos is happy if you want to submit any questions or if you've got any comments that you want to pop in. So along the top of your screen right now, you should see a button called Q&A. If you want to use that button to submit any comments or questions, as I said, it's a short session, but we'll be happy to try and address as many as possible at the end. If you'd rather not show your name when you're submitting a comment or question, you will have the option to anonymize. You just need to use that little button on the screen whenever you open the Q&A. And if it would help you to have closed captions to add to your personal view, you can do that as well. Along the top of your screen, you'll see the button that says More with the 3 little dots. If you open that up, you can add closed captions to your personal view. So without further ado, I'm going to get out of the way and I'm going to introduce Carlos to the screen so that he can talk to you about the Civil Service Carers Network.
Good morning. Thank you to everyone who's joined this morning. My name is Carlos Castillo. I am the chair of the Civil Service Carers Network. I'd just like to, first of all, pay tribute to the work that Lisa Colville and Becky have done in organising the sessions this week for Carers Week. It's a phenomenal response that we've had, something in the lines of 5,000 registrations, which is amazing to see, and the support that's on offer and the sessions that are on offer for our carers in the workplace. I'd like to talk to you this morning about the Civil Service Carers Network, how it's set up, some of our challenges, what we're looking to do in terms of our strategic priorities, and then I'd be happy to take any questions. First of all, if I can just say briefly where my caring responsibilities lie. My oldest son, Alexander, was born 1 pound 6 ounces. This was in 1999. He was in intensive care for 3 months. He came home on oxygen, and 4 years later, he was diagnosed with ataxic cerebral palsy, dyspraxia, and dysarthria. For 26 years, coming on to 27 soon, I've fought as a carer to obtain inclusivity for Alex, but more importantly, to make him believe that his disability doesn't define him, and actually that you can achieve anything provided you have the right support in place. For me, ensuring that the civil service becomes more inclusive of our carers is our number one priority. Our network is made up of 60 different civil service carers networks, representing a number of departments across the civil service. Our network has a consultation team, so any decisions that are raised in our monthly Civil Service Carers Network meetings are discussed with the consultation team beforehand, to obtain feedback and insight from a range of different experts within the network, before we then speak as a collective voice and obtain the views from the rest of the Civil Service Carers Network. We report directly into 2 different areas through our champions, so our Deputy Champion Rebecca Sudworth from the Food Standards Agency, and our Civil Service Carers Champion Julie Harrison, who's the Permanent Secretary for the Northern Ireland Office. And essentially, that they are our champions who advocate some of the issues and some of the priorities I'm going to be speaking to in a second. If you haven't already seen the email that Julie Harrison has sent to the civil service and civil service colleagues, please can I encourage you to look at the email. It contains a really personal story from Kate Owen, the Chief Executive of the Civil Service Commission, and talks about some of the sessions that are being run this week. I'm supported in the Civil Service Carers Network by two vice chairs, Harry Rudge and Amrit Baines. And as I say, some of the members of the consultation team have been former chairs. So some of our strategic priorities and some of the things that we've looked to address over the last year and going forwards. As you'll be aware, there was supporting guidance that was issued to staff networks, and what we've tried to do is to support our network members to ensure that we are consistent with the other staff support networks across the civil service. We have looked at and are looking at updates to the decision makers toolkit. This is targeted at a senior civil service level, and also we're looking at the line managers toolkit and providing updates to the toolkit. We are looking at how we can ensure the new EDI strategy that we report, and that's the second line of reporting, that we report and collaborate with the Cabinet Office Inclusive Practice Team, Government People Group. We're working with them to ensure how the new strategy can be more carer inclusive for our carers within the civil service. We are looking at some of the disparities that some of our members are facing. So, for example, some carers who receive R&R have faced disparity in terms of payments if they receive any form of support payments or benefit payments. So those are some of the challenges and some of the things that we're looking to address going forwards in the next few years. We've also started to reinvigorate the departmental carers champion meetings. So Julie Harrison will be chairing those meetings, and we hope to ensure that those take place twice a year. Anyone can join our network who is a carer within the civil service. You can contact me, you can contact any of the vice chairs, and we'd be happy to add you to our Civil Service Carers Network. Our responsibility primarily is to support line managers in supporting carers in the workplace. What's very important is that we tend to steer away and continue to steer away from anything being politicized in our network or any of our carer related items. We try to ensure, and we've got a very good reputation with our senior civil service colleagues and stakeholders, both internal and external, in terms of our approach and how we worked as a network. And that's testament to the great work that my former co-chair, Cilla Christmas, did for 7 years as chair of the Civil Service Carers Network. In fact, her legacy goes on in terms of the work that we are now looking to implement with the Decision Makers Toolkit. I think it's important to reflect that when we have our monthly Civil Service Carers Network forums, what we ensure is that our members are effectively leads in their respective departments, and they provide a support network for their members. And so for us, our carers network is a safe space, is a support network for them. No issue is omitted from being raised. Anything that's within the carer space that people feel they need some clarity on, some support on, we are happy to provide that support. We have provided advice to various government departments. We continue to monitor people survey data in terms of carers to ensure that we can accurately ascertain how many carers we have within the civil service. Lisa, I think that's left me with 1 minute to take any questions, but I think
that was super.
I think essentially that covers everything we have in terms of the Civil Service Carers Network that we're looking to do at the moment. We operate with the terms of reference, and we ensure that all of our network members operate with that terms of reference. Within our Civil Service Carers Network and the consultation team, we also have various subgroups. So we have a Young Carers Network, which I'm particularly proud of, as myself previously a young carer, although at the age of 47 now, I'm not sure I can still claim to be a young carer, but you know, it's really important to support that particular network in terms of their work, which is over the last year been phenomenal, and they actually won the the Chairs Award for their work last year. We also have a parental subgroup. We have a male carer subgroup. And as I say, all of those subgroups essentially have their own agendas that they then bring to the consultation team to share the progress that they're working in those areas. Lisa, I think that is everything I've covered.
Great, excellent. Well, listen, if you think of something more, Carlos, we can throw it in. We're just going to take, maybe we're going to add an extra minute on to this session. So for everybody who's still there, the biggest question that we're getting coming in, Carlos, again and again and again, is how do we contact the network? So, Carlos, if you're happy to give us an idea, if there's an email address or something, we will pop that into the Q&A box right now, if that's okay with you.
So what I would say is that we've had some difficulty having our own, if you like, a generic email address because of GDPR and the restrictions for some of the government departments. So if you're interested in joining, I'd say in the first instance, please feel to drop me an email. So that's carlos.castilejo@homeoffice.gov.uk. I'll place that in the chat bar, and Lisa also has the address. In the first instance, if you'd like to join. That's the easiest way of adding your name to the distribution list and to ensure that you have the regular invites to the meeting.
Perfect. So I've literally just done that, Carlos. I've popped that into the Q&A box. Anybody wants to take a look at that. So it's Carlos Castilejo at homeoffice.gov.uk. It's in the box there now. Or if you don't catch that and you can always email me, my email address, and I'll pass your email on to Carlos. That's fine.
Lisa, I'd also encourage attendees to look at some of the resources we have at present. So obviously, if you look at the civil service carer strategy, that's on the gov.uk webpage, you'll see that there's a lot of tools there, including links to the carers passport guidance, carers conversations, so on and so forth.
Brilliant. So lots of resources there within the network and within your information set. There are a couple of other questions here, Carlos, that I just wanted to try and get to if we could. We're sort of slightly over time, so hopefully people will bear with us just for a moment. There was one here that I wanted to pick up on. Yeah, so somebody says they do get emails from the Carers Network. Is there also a Teams group? Do you have something like that, or do you set up regular sort of Teams catch-ups with people if they want to join those?
So our monthly Civil Service Carers Network forum meetings, they effectively are on Teams calls. So you can, by adding your name to the distribution list, you will automatically get an invite to those meetings.
Super, that's excellent. And Carlos, I think we probably do have to bring it to a close now, but another question asks, does your network support other departments to set up local carers networks? So maybe a smaller network within, can you support people with that, or where to start?
So as I say, we've got the various subgroups. So what we tend to do is if someone approaches us, for example, and they've got an interest to be part of a parental subgroup, we would put them in touch with our lead for the parental subgroup. Vice versa, the same if someone wanted to join the Young Carers Network. But if they want specific guidance on how to set up a network, we'd be, of course, happy to assist and provide that guidance.
Brilliant. You've mentioned the Young Carers Network a couple of times, Carlos. I just want to let people know, in case they haven't already seen this on our webinar schedule, on Thursday afternoon, we have a session with the Carers Trust and some representatives of the Young Carers Network. So if that's a group that you're particularly interested in, please do jump into that session. I think it's Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. And you might get a little bit more information then even on the work that the Young Carers Network does and how to contact. So we are a few minutes over time now, so we're definitely going to say goodbye. And thank you for everybody who joined that session today. I hope you found it useful just in thinking about what the Carers Network can do for you, how you can access it, and how you can support that network as well in your own departments. So for now, we're going to say thank you to Carlos. Thank you to everybody who joined this morning. Our next session starts at 11:30. So it's Autism and ADHD with Vital Nutrition, thinking about nourishing the neurodivergent brain. So if you are already registered for that, you've got about 15 minutes to go and get a cup of tea, get a bit of fresh air before you log on to that next session. If you're not joining us in that one, then hopefully we'll see you at some of the other sessions throughout this week. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.